Unity. It is exciting to see you and thankful that you are here in the Raise Room. So, pretty excited about this. The Raise Room is something really cool that we've launched, that we're growing in. We've got a couple of you guys in here. So, I'm just going to give it a second, but I really will just kind of dive in right now. I definitely, since it's newer, I don't expect a lot of people to sort in or anything like that. And so, I have some stuff planned for us to go over and to talk through just so that we can kind of keep the ball moving. And so we can have really good conversations, ideas, and then just talking through it. So let's go ahead and dive into it just because I think it's not going to be a lot of people in here. So I just kind of want to get things going. And if you are not part of the Raise Room, you can go ahead and click the link below. And in that link, you'll be able to join free for 7 days. So you at least get to go in, look at all the videos, grab some of the freebies, honestly, and then even make it to probably at least one call during your 7 day trial. So I would love for you guys to join in. Come into the Raise Room. I'm going to be teaching all about capital raising, how you can grow it, how you can learn, how we can dive into that together, and then really how you could grow your capital raising business or just grow capital raising in your business because it's so important. As the golden rule says, he who holds the gold makes the rules. And then from there, be able to, if you want to start an investment fund, run a syndication, or just scale up the business that you're doing, I definitely want to be able to kind of help you with that. So without further ado, let's kind of dive in here. I don't have a presentation, but I definitely have some points for us to go over. And I'll share this in the Raise Room, just so you guys have this. This definitely will be right under the live showing or the live call. You'll definitely get this build out of this document that I'm going over, and I think hopefully it'll be super helpful for you guys. And I want to show you guys today what we're going to be diving into is kind of how to start the conversation with potential investors. Whether for me, a big part of that was social media. We're not going to really get into the like going to events or doing things like that. I'm going to go with the lowest hanging fruit of being able to raise capital, and a lot of that's going to be through social media. And so we're going to dive into that and go from there, just so you guys can get a good idea of how I do it, what I'm talking about, and what that looks like. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. And right here, so I have some openers that I go through and I talk to people about. And there's different ways that you could do this. If you know somebody really well, this is a good way to start this. So when I go, I always lead with curiosity. That's kind of like my big thing is, oh, I am not going to come in and eventually, if it like right off the bat pitch you on my idea or pitch you on my offering or this investment opportunity or something like that, especially if I haven't talked to you in a while, because then that just looks honestly like really shady. Hey, I haven't talked to you in a while. You want to invest with me? No, we don't want to do that. At the end of the day, what I want to do is go, hey, I'm excited for you. Hey, I was looking at your social media. I was looking at your Instagram. I was looking at this, and I noticed that blank, you went to Disney, you traveled to this place, you and your family were doing this. I was thinking of doing something like the same. Can you give me some advice? Can you give me some pointers? Can you give me some tips? Something like that is super helpful because it allows you to begin that conversation, you to start the conversation where people are now being able to go, oh, hey, yes, let me tell you what I'm doing and let me give you a little bit of value. Let me give you a little bit of information on it. And then it's really helpful because then at that point, they now are they feel like you care about them. And at the end of the day, that's what I want. People want to feel valued, they want to feel heard, and they want to feel cared about. And a lot of times people also want to be helpful. And so I'm like, yeah, hey, tell me about this. I'd love to get some advice on this. I'm thinking about taking the kids, but I'm a little nervous because there's so many kids and it's so crazy. Oh my gosh, tell me about it. So then we have that conversation. From there, then I'm like, okay, what are you up to, man? Tell me about it. And they tell me what they're up to. I tell them they tell me what they're up to. And there is this saying that one of my good friends, Carl, he says, interested people are interesting. And so it's this idea that if I'm interested in them, at some point they're going to be interested in me. They're going to be interested in what I have to say. And so for me to go, hey, I'm interested in you and what you have to say and the things that you're going through, then they'll go, oh, hey, what are you doing? And then this is where I give like my little elevator pitch. I give this, but and I use it as a gauge. I don't really like tell them everything. You know, I can go, oh, hey, right now, I currently just work with people who are looking to passively invest into deeply discounted real estate without having to put up with tenants, trash, and toilets or something like that, and then also and make double-digit returns without having to deal with the tenants, trash, and toilets. And then people are like, oh, you'll either get one or two people. You get one person who's like, that's cool, and then like we keep going, or then another person that's like, oh, interesting, tell me more about that, or oh, that's really cool. I've been thinking about real estate. I've wanted to get into real estate. I want to do that. there's my person. Now I can engage with them. Hey, wow, look, listen, you sounds like you're really interested. I would love to be able to help walk you through a lot of this stuff that we're doing, and then even help you to reach your goals. So then again, I'm going back and putting the value and giving them value. Even if they don't invest with us, I want them to reach their goals, no matter what that means. Whether that means they invest with us, and a lot of times people will go, well, yeah, why wouldn't I just do that? Or they go and do it themselves. And so I'm going to go ahead and share this as you give a little bit of context. Yeah, we don't want to lead with, hey, I've got this opportunity for you. You should really come and check it out. We don't want to lead with that. I mean, we barely want to lead with, I've been meaning to reach out. I'm building something exciting, and I think you might appreciate the strategy behind it. This could be good right here. This would be good with, like, sometimes I'll do this, and this will be good with like somebody I know really well. If I know them really well, I will reach out with something like this because we've been talking and they know what I'm doing. And then, are you doing anything with your capital now, or are you keeping it liquid? This is a kind of a good question to ask with, oh, hey, somebody that you know is an accredited investor, or if you're in LinkedIn, that's where there's a really good, these conversations go really well in LinkedIn. And then I love using social media as an inbound marketing source. So one of the things that I'll do is I'll create polls, and in these polls, people that answer the polls, so I'll just say, hey, I educate a ton. Hey, did you know that your IRA can do this? Do you have an IRA sitting? And then if like they do have an IRA just sitting, then I'll go, oh, what are you doing with that IRA? And then I'll engage them with a conversation. Did you know that you could do this, this, and that with your IRA? Would you rather earn, or you could ask questions, would you rather earn 8% interest or 20% equity? Depends on like how good your how savvy your following is. For my following, very entry level. Some of them aren't as savvy, but this would be good to differentiate. Like if you're running a 506B, you might want to ask maybe like a lower entry question. But if you are running a 506C, you're only allowing accredited investors in, then you would ask a question that's a little bit more savvy to even further along, like differentiate between your followers and to set them apart. So you have like all kinds of questions that you can ask when it comes to curiosity. I'm curious, how do you typically like look at your investments, evaluate your investments, figure out if you're going to invest with something or not? Have you ever invested in something that gives you equity and cash flow? What's your goal with your money in the next 3 to 5 years? If somebody's interested and we want to get out their goals, we always want to make it goal oriented. Something that goes in and sets up, like sets them to be or sets us as the trusted advisor for them. So then now we're starting to place ourselves as an authority in their lives, and then helping them to kind of go, oh, I don't know, I've never really thought about my investments in the next 3 to 5 years and what I want those to look like. This is a really good way to be able to do that. Now, section 2, you want to say what to say when they seem interested, but then ghost you, right? We want to follow up with them. I don't even like this idea of going, hey, I just wanted to circle back. The thing that I say is, hey, you were on my mind this morning, so I thought you were on my mind this morning, either during my journaling or my whatever, on my mind this morning, so I thought I'd reach back out. Timing might not be right. Should I check back later this quarter? Stuff like that's good depending on how far along your conversation is. But for this, I don't ever go, hey, just wanted to follow up, hey, wanted to circle back, hey, want to do this. I always tie it to like the value. Hey, I was thinking about it, and I'll bring it back to the conversation we had. Hey, I was thinking about you talking about investing in gold. I was looking at the news lately, and I was like, man, I wonder how he's doing with his gold. Like gold is booming right now. I'm sure he's pretty excited about that. Or the stock is plummeting right now. I'm sure he might want to get into something else. And so I'd go, hey, I saw the news the other day, and then it made me think of you immediately. Man, the news is crazy, right? And so then I'd re-engage them without trying to pitch them again, but I'm re-engaging in the previous conversation to keep it moving. And so that's where we'd add that value. And then you can also be like, okay, cool. If I were to send over like a couple minutes of a video explaining how we do things, would you be interested in it? And this is for people who have reached like the next level of our conversation. The next level of our conversation where they're interested in what we're talking about, but they've kind of ghosted us. Then we'd be like, hey, I put together this video and I've made it specifically for you. You said that when we talked last time that you've got gold here, you've got some real estate here, but you're mostly in the S&P 500. And I was looking at it like this. Or, hey, you said that you holding your IRA in Fidelity, but I noticed that Fidelity is down 5% since whatever. And I was wondering, I was thinking, and I was like, man, this could be a really good opportunity to move at least some of your IRA over. Here's a video of me explaining that. And so like stuff like that that's personalized to them, really awesome and really helpful. Status updates. We were getting close to wrapping this up of this round, but wanted to reach out just in case you're still considering it. There is good things because what we're doing is we're creating scarcity here. We're saying, hey, we're getting really close to wrapping up. I would love to be able to include you if it's something you're still interested in. And honestly, you seem like you might be. So here, what if we did this, or that? So I would say at the end of the day, it's really nice to be able to re-engage them with what we're doing. All right. Framing your offer so it doesn't feel like asking. So if we're going to somebody and now we want to make sure that we go, okay, you want to invest with us, you have an idea of what you want to do and move forward with. Let's go ahead and frame the offer without making it seem really salesy. So we have like, I'm not asking you to fund my deal. I'm giving you a shot at being part of something asymmetrical upside with low risk. So this is always the goal, asking you to be a part of something with asymmetrical upside with low risk. Sometimes I wouldn't say this. I do want to make it seem though, like, hey, we have this deal, and honestly, we're almost oversubscription. We're almost oversubscribed. I've got a lot of investors on it. May not need you, but I definitely wanted to offer the opportunity to you, partially because like it's better than your 401k. It's less risky than the stock market, but the returns are great because it's backed by deeply discounted real estate. So that's where I would say here is like the mental reframe of like, hey man, I don't need your money, but I'm giving you the offer to be a part of this because you wouldn't normally have this opportunity. Really, all you have the opportunity to do is invest in the S&P 500. So that's where we do that. We structure our deals to be win-win. Investors get a preferred return, equity upside, and regular reporting. We're only opening this project to 5 to 7 more people. And you came to mind, and I wanted to make sure I reached out to you. So this is a really good script for that part right there. And then the scarcity. We've got limited allocation, and I always start with people I trust or who've shown interested in long-term investing. And it really seems like you fit that mold. So then I would say, but then I go, but you know, you can have pullaways, but you probably won't be interested in it. And then they go, no, yes, I am interested. Yes, I am interested. So we definitely want to play on that because I think it leads into them feeling like, oh, I definitely want to invest with this person now. Let's definitely go through and see what we could do there. And then of course you have different cadences and follow-ups. You have like day one, hey, and this isn't even just checking in. This is, you came on my mind. You popped up in conversation on my mind across my feed. These are good ways to kind of like engage people back without seeming like, oh, hey, I just wanted to follow up. Hey, just want to see how you're doing. Day 3, resource drop. Hey, here's a breakdown of how we structure these things. Day 7, scarcity. Hey, spots are limited. Day 14, check in. Still open to chatting or better later this year since we're closing or something. Since we're closing this soon. And you always have the ability to be able to come back later and go, hey, we just had somebody drop out. Would love to see if you'd be interested in taking their spot. And you can even ask them, what's your typical communication? Oh, wait. When you're recording a deal? No, I don't like that. Anyways, okay. So section 5, how to build momentum when you haven't raised yet. This is going to be important because some of you are in here and you haven't raised for a deal. Either you've got this multifamily unit that you're thinking about bringing up, or you're thinking about starting a fund. You maybe don't even have a huge track record, or like you're trying to figure out, okay, I've got the deal. I've analyzed the deal. I know exactly what I want to move forward to. Now I need to start raising capital for it. Or I've got a partner, great operator, want to start raising capital for that, or starting a fund of funds. And I want to raise capital because I know these different operators that are awesome. So we want to build credibility fast. Depending on how you guys are structured, whether you're doing single assets, whether you're doing a bunch of your fix and flips, because that's what you do. You fix and flip, you want to do some new builds, or you have a fund. I would start with a list of 25 people. We call this our capital circle. Have a circle of 25 people that fit in there. And typically I'll have friends, family, and then I'll even have, oh shoot. I have friends, I have family, and it's not necessarily coworkers, but it also is, I think, I have to remember, but coworkers or people that you know that that would be interested in investing. Sometimes I have people that are completely random that I've been following on social media, but they look like, right, because of the way that the things that they do, the things that they talk about, they look like they might be accredited investors and interested in what I'm talking about. And they're responding from my polls. So if they're responding to my polls consistently about investing and wanting to put their money into something else, because I'm creating content on social media that warrants engagement, then I'll make sure I add them into this circle. you could definitely host a live info session with call to action. So this could be with your friends. This could be on Instagram Live. This could be on a Facebook Live. This could just be you getting together with people and saying, hey, I wouldn't even go necessarily the lunch and learn route, because you could do that. And we talk about doing that sometimes with, but at like title companies, lunch and learns at title companies, lunch and learns at local attorney offices, things like that are good. But hosting a live session for that, share success stories from partners, mentors, and other similar deals that you're doing. It's fine, depending on what your structure is, your deal structure, and what you're doing, to post success stories on social media. I know that the SEC does like frown against certain practices when it comes to that. So just make sure you're not being overly specific or guaranteeing or promising things. But it's totally fine to share experiences that you've had with other people investing in your deals. You don't have to be super specific, and to keep yourself a little bit more in the gray and a little bit safer, don't be super specific. Make sure it's something that you're posting and people are okay with you posting their success and feeling good about it. So I definitely would go there, and then build a wait list of soft commits. So if somebody's interested in getting into what you're doing, say, hey, cool, I've got this form. Go ahead and fill this form out, and this will help me. So when we open up the next one, currently, I don't have anything right now. We just closed down one of our offerings. But until then, why don't you go ahead and fill out this form? And so then you have a list of people that if you just go onto a Google form, and then you have that Google form pushed to a spreadsheet, you've got a list of people who have already shown and told you that they were interested in investing with you. And then now you can keep that open for the next time you offer something. So very, very huge here, because you want to have a pipeline of people so that every time you launch, you're building the pipeline, and you are making sure that as soon as you launch, you can send it out to those people and have it ready for them. And so you can say things like, we're not raising from just anyone. We're partnering with long-term capital who align with our mission and values. One of the big things I tell people all the time is like, hey, your money's going to make money. And that's kind of the easy part of it, what we're doing, because I believe in what we're doing. But at the end of the day, I want your money to make an impact in the world. And so we always try to tie in the things that we do with the impact that we want to make in the world. That's a big part of it. So if we could do that, that is huge. That's huge for our investors. That's huge for us. That's huge for the people and most people involved in it, because a lot of times when you're dealing with people with money, making money is easy for them, and they're at the point in their life where they're like, whatever, money is whatever. Now they're like, I want to give back. I want to make impact. I want to do something with my money that changes lives. And so if you can directly correlate their investment with the impact that they're making, they feel like they can then go and tell people about it. Hey, oh yeah, I'm investing with this person. They're building houses here. Hey, yeah, I'm investing with this person. They're changing Section 8 in this area, or foster care system in this area, and making a real impact, saving people's lives. And so we also tell people, even before we raise $1, I started building out our investor base like a community. One of the things that you want to do is you want to build that community and make them feel a part of it, something. Investors like to get together. They really like to get each other involved and hang out and understand, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Because then they can then go and do things together on their own. You're creating an ecosystem of other investors that are like and very similar to you, and they want to do things together. So they may go and do deals together, and that's really cool, because you've connected like-minded individuals and you've created an ecosystem that people want to be a part of. They want to feel part of a community that works together, that makes an impact together, that invests together, that celebrates together, that makes money together. And so if you can get them together once a quarter in person, but have a Facebook group or some sort of group that's free, that your investors are just in, that you can constantly engage and update them in, that will help tremendously. Honestly, that will build a lot of community and help to build camaraderie amongst your investors and trust in you. They get behind you a lot easier. Now, huge parts of this, make sure that you guys are grabbing the scripts to have these conversations. In another video in the raise room, I talk about those scripts, and I put those scripts in there so that you guys can go ahead and start engaging with people on social media, start building up your pipeline of investors. Because even if all you do is build the pipeline of investors, you then have people to come back to later on down the road. If they don't invest now, that's totally fine. But at least down the road, they can, depending on their accreditation and how you've structured some of your deals. So I would 100% make sure that you guys are dialing in this system, making sure that you guys have a process for following up with people and making sure that you guys are having these conversations, organizing your people, and making sure that that as you're having these conversations, you're staying very, very curious and consistent, and fostering that that sense of camaraderie with your investors. It's a big deal when you can actually create a following with investors, because then they become your like your biggest fans. So they become your raving fans, which is a fantastic book. If you guys haven't read it, it's a book by Ken Blanchard. Highly suggest you guys check out Raving Fans, because that's definitely something you don't have to just apply to your business, but you can apply it to your investors as well. Sorry, but you can apply it to your investors as well. So, all right, y'all. I nobody joined, but I wanted to run through that really quickly. If you guys have questions or need anything, don't hesitate to let me know. I'm 100% here for you guys, and looking forward to definitely making sure that we can, like, yeah, join me for the next one. Make sure you guys put your questions in the school community so I can answer those, and we can do those next week on our Q&A, our weekly coaching. But I appreciate y'all being in here. If you guys need anything, have any questions, let me know. And I like always and as I always like to say, to great success and greater impact. Peace.